Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, welcome to episode 3 of Nostalgia Train. Yeah, well, we're gonna be talking about one of my beloved movies from the 80s in this video. It's Dead Heat. Yeah, well, it stars Treat Williams. He plays Roger Mortis in this film, a detective, and Joe Piscopo. He plays Doug Bigelow. They're both partners in this film. It's an action comedy. It's kind of like if you took Lethal Weapon and you added zombies to it, you know. But these zombies, they don't feed on flesh. It's more like just bringing people back from the dead, basically. That's kind of like what it is. Not there's no flesh eating or anything like that going on here. In film, we see these two jewelry thieves. They're robbing the jewelry stores, and they get swarmed by police, but they're not going down after taking several shots. They're still not going down. So our two lead actors show up and they are able to dispatch them. So at the precinct, the mortician, Rebecca, she now tells them that something strange is going on, that these dead jewelry thieves, she's actually performed autopsy on them before. So this is the second time she's performing autopsy on them. So she even showed them pictures to prove it. So she now said that there was something strange she saw in their body, some sort of preservative, and that there's this company that bought a huge quantity of it. So they decided to go investigate. So they now get there and they get shown around by the company's public relations officer, Randy. So she now shows them around, but the dog now says he wants to use the men's room and leaves the tour because he wants to snoop around. Well, he now finds this machine in this room, and there's something on top of the machine that's covered with a tarpaulin. So he now pulls it away, and there's this huge biker guy, and the guy has like three faces compressed into one head. It's crazy. It's crazy. Really freaky. Really freaky. I freaked out when I saw that for the first time. So he now shoots at this biker guy, and he's not going down, just like the two jewelry thieves. So the gunshot now sends everywhere into pandemonium. Security goes off, the alarm goes off, everything. So Roger now races down to help Doug, but in the fight, he gets knocked into this decompression room, and and someone now from behind a tinted glass now turns on the decompression room and sucks the air out of the room, killing Roger. So Doug's able to dispatch the biker guy, and he now sees that his partner has been killed. So Rebecca now comes to the scene of the crime, and she's asking Doug, what happened? I was just with you guys, a short while ago. What happened? So he now says, you're not going to believe me. So she now says, try me. So he now takes us to the room where the machine is. So she now examines the machine, its computer system, and everything. Now sees that this is the device they use to bring the dead back to life. So clearly is where the two jewelry thieves were brought back to life. So she now says they should use the machine to bring Roger back from the dead. So finally Doug agrees, and they now put it in the machine and bring it back to life. So she now examines him, now sees that he doesn't have a pulse, he doesn't have a heartbeat, nothing. And he's as cold as ice. He's still as cold as a corpse. So she now wants to take him back to the station and to her lab and then run some more tests. So she now takes a blood sample and all that, and he's like, no, I'm gonna go investigate. Someone killed me. I want to find out who. I want to find out, what's going on here. Why, what machine is this? The whole cover up and all that. So they now decide to go. Two of them decide to go check on Randy, the PR officer who was giving them the tour. So when they get to her house, she's trying to flee. She's packing her bags. She's just about to drive out her driveway, with all her luggage and stuff. So they now stop her and they take her inside to talk. So inside, she now reveals that she's actually the daughter of the owner of the company, Arthur P. Littlemilk. So she now says she's his adopted daughter. That she doesn't know anything about what's going on. That she's just a PR. That's her job. So they now take her to the station. And there, Rebecca now reveals to Roger that she's done tests, and it turns out that he's only got 12 hours to live. And once that 12 hours is up, he's going to decompose and melt to pieces, actually, basically. So she now says she has an idea of how to keep him alive longer than that, but it's a theory, and she's not sure if it's gonna work, but she wants to try. So he's like, no, I'd rather spend my last few hours I have finding the man who killed me and blowing this whole thing out, this whole operation, out of the water. So he now decides to still go off and investigate. So they now decide to split up because he doesn't have much time. So Doug now goes off to chase the lead, while he now goes off with Randy to her father's tomb to see if there's any clues there. So they now they split up. So at the tomb, they now find like a code and decide to meet up back at Randy's place, because that was the plan. So when they now get to Randy's house, they now see that Doug is there and he's been killed, he's dead. So so they're like, okay, now where do we go from here? So Randy now decides to go take a shower, and while she's drying herself off, Roger now comes to talk to her that, like trying to pep her up that they shouldn't give up, they should still keep investigating, they should that they're gonna get to the bottom of this and all that. So she now tells him that she's sorry, and he now says, sorry for what? What are you sorry about? She now said, I lied to you. And I said, about what? She now says that not only was she like the adopted daughter of the rich philanthropist who owns a company, who, he's late, he's dead and all that, but that she was also dead, and they used that machine to also bring her back to life. And they told her as long as she keeps her mouth shut and does her job, that she'll have a normal life. So, but they lied to her. So he's like, what are you talking about? So she now shows him her hands. You now see that her body is starting to decompose like really fast, and she just falls apart right in front of him. Her arms fall off, her head falls off her shoulder, and her head is still talking. She's still apologizing to him for not telling him the truth, from the beginning, and she now like melts into like some sort of gooey stuff. So he now, after calming down, he freaked out and he wouldn't. So he now goes to her system, now puts in the code that he found at her father's tomb, and now some information comes up in that system, and the name of the chief mortician comes up, Dr. McNabb, and he now realizes like, oh, obviously that the guy has the power to take those dead thieves from the morgue and take the body to the company and put into the machine that brought them back to life, and then send them on a robbery and all of that. So you now realize that clearly he's the guy, and obviously also he's the guy that killed him, as well. So he now goes after the guy, goes to his office. So the guy is like just there, doing his thing, and he now comes there, now like points a gun at him, now tells him all he's discovered and that he knows he's the one behind it all. So the guy is like, calm, like, you're not going to be able to prove any of that. You're just grabbing at straws. There's no like physical evidence you can use to tie me to all these things you're saying. So he's like, he's not even going to wait for any court. He now wants to kill the doctor, and then some more undead goons now show up and they apprehend Roger. So he now takes him outside, now puts him in an ambulance, and he now reveals to him that the dead body of Rebecca is in the ambulance as well. So he has killed her, because anyone who now knows about the resurrection machine, has to go. So he's killed her. So you only have like an hour left before you decompose yourself. So you spend it with her, because I know you two had things for each other. So like you spend it with her, So they now leaves. Like he has a big presentation, and he has to go, So he now leaves in there. So Roger now finds a way to put the ambulance in neutral, sending it down the road into a very busy intersection, and there's a big accident, and the ambulance catches fire and burns and all. So fire service finally puts fire out, and they put him in the body bag, but then he opens the body bag from the inside and comes out, freaks everyone out, and he gets on the motorcycle and races off to the company where Dr. McNabb is having a presentation about the machine and all of that. So he now goes there. So when he gets there, there's a huge gunfight, of course, because they've got lots of security. So he has to fight his way into the room where the machine is, where Dr. McNabb and the dead Arthur P. Letterman, who has been brought back to life, are there pitching to these old billionaires that this is better than life insurance. Like if you pay us a certain amount of money or something, or half your wealth, when you do die, we will bring you back to life, and you get to like enjoy your life all over again, that sort of thing. So that was what they were, selling to these old rich guys. And of course, the fight finally breaks into the room, and there's more shootout because there's some more goons in the room. So Roger now takes them out. So Dr. McNabb had a dead body there that he was bringing back to life to demonstrate to these rich old men that it's possible. So he now reveals who the dead body is, and it's actually Doug, Roger's partner. So he now tells Doug to kill Roger because he's been brain dead for too long and his memories are gone, so he doesn't remember Roger. So he now like they're now in the midst of a tussle, and Roger is able to remind him of who he is, and his memory comes back. So they now turn on Dr. McNabb, who now kills himself so that they don't get to kill him. So they now put him in the resurrection machine, bring him back to life, and then they now start the process again while he's like awake in the resurrection machine. They're like, you like to see what happens when you resurrect someone twice? So they now put the machine to start the process again, and Dr. McNabb now like starts to scream and shout, and then he swells up and explodes. So then the machine starts to short circuit and catch fire and all that, and so they now start to leave. So the rich old man, Arthur P. Latimer, now pleads with them that he's going to give them money, he's going to give them power, he's going to give them eternal life, and they should save the machine. So they now turn around and they shoot the machine up, causing it to explode. Then they walk out, and that's where the movie ends. So it's very, very good. It's very interesting. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's very, very good. Very interesting. If you have not seen Dead Heat, go and see Dead Heat. Go and check it out. So that's it for this video. If you've enjoyed the video, please like my video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.